My name is Tim Long. I'm the CEO and founder of New Life Medical Center, and today I'm going to talk to you about red light therapy, or well, it's also called low-level laser light therapy. So we just put a system in the clinic for mostly helping with fat loss, and also it's also helped with skin rejuvenation because we do starting to do aesthetics, and also for pain, and because we have a lot of patients who have issues with joint pain. So I started doing research about a year ago, almost a year ago, and I've talked with scientists, engineers, I've talked to the doctor who helped develop the system we use, I've talked to doctors on all the coast, all the way down from Florida to California, all the way to New York. I've talked to actual patients who have used the system, and I've talked to the manufacturers, I've even talked to consultants. So I've done a lot of research because I wanted to make sure that we're going to get a system that actually works, it's effective, does it work in the first place, and I've got to make sure that the one I get is going to work on our patients, because I don't want to offer something to our patients unless it really gets results like we say it is, because if it does not get the results, it affects our reputation, and it's going to hurt our business, and it's going to hurt our relationship with our customers. So it has got to work above all else. I don't care even what the cost is, but it's got to be effective, it's got to work. So what I found out is all red light therapy, they're not even close to being the same. And here's some of the things you need to kind of look for. Most importantly, it has to have the right wavelengths. And most of the systems that have the right wavelengths, the only system I know that have the right wavelengths, the research I've done, are the ones that are FDA cleared and medical grade. So those three things is what you want to look for. Medical grade, FDA cleared, and they have the proper wavelengths. Otherwise, it's just a gimmick. And most of the systems that the consumer can buy, and trust me, I bought a few of them, are just a gimmick, because red light is a hot topic right now. You said all the influencers in the podcast, and longevity and functional medicine. It's hot. So what do people do when things are hot? They will jump on it and ride it as long as they can and make as much money as they can. So they're not really interested in doing the research and finding out what really works. They just want to jump on the hot buzzword for the moment, make some quick money, and then move on to whatever's next. So most of the systems that you can buy online for a consumer all are made, they're made in China, they're not medical grade, they're not FDA cleared, and they don't have the right wavelengths. So what do you want to look for when it comes to as far as the wavelengths? The primary wavelength that's the most effective in research is the 850, 650, 660, 850, and the 900, 930 range. Now our system is the only system I know of that has all three. Most medical grade and FDA cleared systems will have either the 660 or the 850, or they'll have one of those, or sometimes they'll have both. Some of the better systems have both. So you're not going to be able to find those wavelengths in most cases in a consumer product, and they can't prove it and they can't back it up. So the only way to know for sure that you are actually getting it is it needs to be FDA cleared, and it has to be a medical grade if you want to make sure it's going to work. So those are the things you need to look for, and you have to be very careful, because like I said, people, and then I'm not saying they're doing it intentionally, some of these other med spas and places that offer red light therapy, they know it's a hot buzzword and there's a lot of technology, a lot of research behind it, and they'll buy a system and throw it up on the wall or throw it as a tanning bed and say, hey, we have red light therapy, come and use it, it helps with all this. But they don't guarantee anything. And they don't understand really how the technology works. They just buy it and stick it in there and hope and sell packages on it. But in our case, we wanted to make sure it really works, because again, it affects our reputation. We're a small business, locally owned, and it means a lot to us. Our reputation means everything to us. So let me explain kind of how the system works, because another thing that happens, besides the power, the wavelengths, the FDA clearance, and medical grade, is you have to even use it properly for it to work. If you're going to target fat loss, the lights, even if it has the right power, right wavelengths, they're FDA cleared for the weight loss, in their medical grade, they have to be on the skin if it's going to affect fat loss, because the farther away from the skin or the surface you're trying to treat the lights are, the less effective it is for anything that you're doing. So let me kind of explain. Our systems are designed to actually wrap around the area that you want to treat, whether it's your upper arm, your upper thighs, your abdomen, the love handles, maybe up under the neck, for a turkey neck. Whatever you're wanting to treat, it's designed to be on the skin and to wrap around it. Because that's the only way, through research, we've proven that you can actually target, it can reach down into the skin and target those fat cells. If it's a distance from the skin, it's not going to do fat loss, but it still can help with skin rejuvenation. So, for example, we have a unit we treat the face with, because most people don't want to lose fat in the face, especially like, through the cheeks and things like that. They want to keep the fat on the face, but they want to lose the fat under the neck. So with the system that we use for the facials or for the face, it's designed to set up over the face, so it doesn't actually touch your face. It sits about 5 to 7 inches above the surface of the skin of your face, so that it doesn't affect weight loss or the fat in your face, but it will rejuvenate your skin. And we'll talk about some of the other services like rejuvenation of skin, pain, neuropathy, fibromyalgia, other autoimmune issues that it can help with. But today we're going to discuss about what to look for and how to actually use it. Because if you are going to a clinic, you're not inside the Memphis area, you can't travel to Memphis, and you're in another part of the country, and they're using red light therapy, I want to teach you how to actually use it if you can to get the results you want. So again, for fat loss, it has to be on the surface of the skin, or as close to as you possibly can get. It can be off of it like maybe a millimeter or two, but it's got to be right there on the surface so it can penetrate the skin. And the waves will penetrate about 1/2 inch roughly into the skin or to the fat to affect those fat cells. So first thing, it has to be on the skin for fat loss. Now, if you are using a system currently that, again, they're medical grade, it's FDA cleared, and it has the right wavelengths, that doesn't mean that you're going to get the fat loss. Because if you have a system where you're going somewhere where there's like a panel on a wall, or it's on a stand and you're standing in front of it, or if you're laying on the bed and it's like hanging above you, or even if you're in a tanning bed, and there's some units kind of designed like a tanning bed, that if it's not on the skin, it's not going to affect the fat at all. You can forget it. But it can help with skin rejuvenation. So in order for it to help with skin rejuvenation, it needs to be about 5 to 7 inches from the surface of the skin if you want to get those effects. So if it's a panel like on the wall, or it's a stand that you're standing next to, you're going to be about that close to it, about just a little over the length of a finger, to get the effects on your skin. If you're standing any farther, like a foot away, you're doing nothing. You're wasting your money and wasting your time. So if that's the kind of system you have access to at this point, you need to get up on that panel as close as you possibly can to get the most effects from it. And again, it has to have the right wavelengths, which are the 660 to 850, and you've got to be close enough to it to actually affect the skin. And even in that tanning bed, as an example, when you're laying on the tanning bed, because we looked at those two, most of them, the actual LEDs or the red lights, are about that far below the surface of the glass. So you're actually laying on glass. Some of them could be right on the surface, so you could be actually laying on them if it's designed properly. But the top that folds down on you, that is never going to be close enough to you to affect the fat loss. Now, on the ones where you're laying on the glass, some of them, if it's close enough to on the skin that's actually getting close to or touching to, it's whatever is actually touching the glass, it can help with fat loss in those specific settings. I'm talking small, like wherever your buttocks is touching it, or your upper shoulders, or maybe the back of your thigh, or maybe your calf, whatever's actually touching, but it's not going to affect anything else around it. It's not going to get your love handles, it's not going to get your lower back, it's not going to get your chest, it's not going to get your arms, it's not going to get your inner thighs. None of that's going to be affected for fat loss. But it can help with the skin rejuvenation. But even in the tanning bed, as if you've been in a tanning bed, and it kind of curves over to a point, there's a pinnacle at the top, along the sides, that can still be helpful for your skin. But once you get to the top, depending on the distance from the actual top light to the top part of your body, if it's too far away, it's not even going to help you with that over the center of your body. So just make sure that if you're trying to treat your skin, that you are actually close enough to the red lights for it to work effectively. But any system that's not actually wrapping around the body is not going to help with fat, so you can kind of forget about that. Although they're going to show you research where it does, and it does. I mean, we have a ton of research on it. A ton. But it's got to be on the surface of the skin so it can penetrate the skin. So those are the kind of things you need to look for. You need to look for has to have the right power, the right wavelengths, has to be FDA cleared, has to be medical grade in most cases, and you have to use it properly for it to work. So if you have any questions about the systems, let us know. But this is how much we believe in our system. Not only we see it, and you're gonna, if you guys follow us on Facebook or our website, we're going to be posting updates and progress pictures all along the way. So you're going to be able to see it. And we have 20 or more video testimonials from patients on fat loss, for pain, injuries, recovery. We have before and after pictures, and you're going to see just more and more of ours on a daily basis. So you're going to be able to see it, but we also guarantee it to you. So if you want to come in and try it, what we do is we offer you 50% off the first visit. So it's called a try it visit. So there's no commitment whatsoever. You're just coming in and try it. So it's only for $59. And if you come in and try it, we guarantee that you're going to lose at least 2 inches or you don't pay. No one else guarantees that kind of weight loss. No one else can, because they don't have the technology to make it work, but we do. So if you want to try it, see if it works for you, come in and try it. It's $59. If you don't lose at least 2 inches, it's free. Now, how do we measure those 2 inches? Now, we cover some other videos too, but I want you to kind of know. We will measure over the arm, one arm, we'll measure the thigh, and we measure the abdomen. And between those measurements on those 3 body parts, if you don't lose at least 2 inches, we don't charge anything. Now, a lot of companies will measure both arms and both legs and the abdomen to get those numbers, but we don't have to with our system. We actually changed it where we only have to measure one, because we want you to know that it really does work. We're not trying to make 1,000 measurements to get those 2 inches. We want to see it really works. And so if you want to try it, come in, and if you don't get at least 2 inches of loss on between those 3 measurements in your very first session, there is no charge at all. So feel free to come in and try it. It's basically risk-free. And once you come in and try it, at that point, we can kind of figure out what your goals are if you want to. There's going to be no pressure whatsoever. We don't have any salespeople here. But depending on what your goals are, we'll tell you kind of what to expect and how long it's going to take and how many treatments it may take. And you just we try to make this affordable for everybody. We have packages where you can save money. We have memberships where you can save even more money. So it's just whatever's best for you. So let us know if you have any questions, and we'll be glad to help.